Hello and welcome. Today, we're going to get really good at rounding numbers. And forget just memorizing a bunch of boring rules. We're going to use a super powerful visual tool that makes it all so much easier to understand, the number line. Let's get started. So, first things first, here's the problem we're going to tackle together. We've got two towns, Town A and Town B, and they each have a very specific number of vehicles. Now, trying to add those two big numbers together in your head, yeah, that's kind of tricky, right? So, what can we do? Well, instead of getting stuck on the exact, precise calculation right away, we're going to make a smart guess. This is a skill called estimation, and trust me, it's incredibly useful for getting a quick idea of an answer without all the heavy lifting. Here's our game plan for today. We'll start with why a smart guess is so useful. Then we'll get the hang of rounding with number lines. After that, we'll learn the most important rule for those tricky numbers, apply it to even bigger ones, and finally, we'll circle back and solve our original problem. All right, our key to success today is definitely the number line. It helps us actually see where numbers are, which makes rounding feel way more natural than just trying to remember a rule from a book. So let's grab that first number from our problem, 6,534. Think of this like we're doing a worksheet together. Your first challenge is to round this number to the nearest 10. Okay, take a look at this blank number line. Before we can even put our number on it, what's the very first thing we need to figure out? We have to know which two tens our number, 6,534, is sitting between. Any ideas? That's it. It's somewhere between 6,530 on the low side and 6,540 on the high side. Just think of those as our two possible answers. Our whole job is just to figure out which one it's closer to. And this is why the number line is so awesome. When we actually place 6,534 on there, you can literally see that it's way closer to 6,530 than it is to 6,540. So, boom! 6,534 rounded to the nearest 10 is 6,530. The visual makes it totally obvious. Okay, let's try another one with that same number. This time, our challenge is to round 6,534 to the nearest 100. So, what are our two endpoints this time? You got it, there's 6,500 and 6,600. It's the exact same idea, we've just kind of zoomed out on our number line with 6,500 on one side and 6,600 on the other. You can see that 6,534 is still closer to the lower number, so we round down to 6,500. All right, so rounding seems pretty simple when a number is clearly closer to one side or the other. But what happens when it's not so clear? This brings us to what I think is the most important rule in all of rounding. This is the classic question that always stumps people. What about a number like 6,550? If we were rounding to the nearest 100, it's not closer to 6,500, and it's not closer to 6,600. It's sitting smack dab in the middle. So now what? To solve this, we're going to use a fantastic little analogy. Imagine you're swimming across a river. If you get tired exactly halfway across, would you really turn around and swim all the way back to where you started? No way. You've already done half the work, so you carry on to the other side. And that is the key right there. So, here's how this works. We turn our number line into a river. The two numbers we could round to, those are the riverbanks. And the number right in the middle, that's the halfway point. So here's the golden rule. If your number lands at or past that halfway point, you always carry on to the other side. You always round up. Now let's see how this awesome new halfway river rule works when we're dealing with even bigger numbers. We're going to apply it to our good old number, 6,534. Okay, first step, just like before. What are our two riverbanks? When we're rounding to the nearest 1,000, our number, 6,534, is somewhere between 6,000 and 7,000. Now, for the important part, where's the middle of our river? What number is exactly halfway between 6,000 and 7,000? It's 6,500. That is our critical decision point. And here we go. Let's look at the number line. The halfway point is clearly marked at 6,500. Our number, 6,534, is just past that halfway mark. So what does our river rule tell us to do? We carry on. We swim to the other side. And because we were past that halfway point, we have to round up. So 6,534 rounded to the nearest 1,000 is 7,000. See how that rule just made the decision super easy for us? Okay, we have totally mastered the skill. Now it's time to go back to our original mission and see how all this helps us solve that big addition problem really quickly and easily. This table lays it all out just perfectly. For town A, we just figured out that 6,534 rounds up to 7,000. Now for town B, the number is 7,892. Well, that is way past its halfway point of 7,500, so it clearly rounds up to 8,000. Now look how simple the math becomes. Instead of trying to add 6,534 and 7,892, we just add our nice, clean, rounded numbers, 7,000 plus 8,000, and that gives us a fantastic estimate, about 15,000 vehicles. We just made a really smart guess in no time at all. So, what are the big takeaways from all this? First, if you're ever stuck, use a number line. It helps you see the answer. Second, always remember the river rule. Halfway or more, you carry on and round up. And finally, just remember that rounding is like a secret weapon for making quick, smart estimations in the real world. And that brings us to the end. But I'll leave you with one final thought to take with you. Look around your world today. It could be the number of people you see, the price of something at the store, or how many minutes are left in the day. What is something you could estimate using your new rounding skills?